Chapter 844, Battle for Dinosaur Leadership. Over at Lake Superior, we were going fishing. Nothing is more satisfying than spending some bonding time than going fishing. Maria, ready to go fishing? Horsa? Horsa, you know I am Maria. We were fishing. We had bait, rods, and more. Kira, hey Lana, can you give me another worm? Lana had eaten all the worms and she slurped them into her mouth. Lana, sorry. All out. Me, oh Lana. Penny M was catching a lot of fish. Sandman, to Penny, how are the fish? Penny? Penny M, really biting daddy. Thunder Blast, I'll use my vehicle mode to catch more fish. Nico, go for it Thunder Blast. She turned into her speedboat mode and caught a lot of fish. Sheen, hey JD, can I ask you a question? Me, sure Sheen. Sheen, I heard you all had a hated kid named Chandler Henderson. Lainey, you would hate him Sheen. He was the worst ever kid ever. Me, he hated everything and he wanted nothing more than to see the entire world burn. I revealed his history and went over everything that happened during the events of Lainey's revenge. The Nature Sisters cometh and bully dinosaurs vs were dogs. Sheen gasped in sheer horror. Sheen, I can't believe that kid. He was a monster. Optimus Prime, I don't know who's worse. Chandler or Megatron? Me, Chandler was a malicious, maniacal psychopath and he got what he deserved. Tuck, French accent, and Chandler's spirit isn't in the Book of Vile Darkness because... Nicole, because he's not worth it. Besides, I admit that we do need at least one villain roaming around to keep the balance of good and evil intact. Roll, French accent, fair enough. Lincoln, Chandler got a sick thrill out of making people suffer. Lainey, but he got what was coming to him. Death. Nico, Chandler Henderson has failed this world in life and in death. We sent him into the ghost zone for all eternity. Then a massive fish pulled my line. Me, whoa. I got a whopper. It's a really big one. Ed came and helped. Ed, it's a fighter Eddie. I was pulling it in and the fish jumped out of the lake water and it was a giant white sturgeon. Me, whoa. It's a huge white sturgeon. Nico, that is the biggest fish I've ever seen. Lana, unbelievable. Lisa, fascinating specimen. Lori, that's the legendary fish Moby Nico. No one has ever been able to catch him. Me, wow. What a fish. Let's reel it in. We did so. It put up quite a fight and it was a tough one. We pulled it in and it was a Ginnermouse white sturgeon as big as a whole bus. Me, whoa. What a fish. Nico, that is a huge fish. Lisa, what an amazing catch. Kira, unbelievable. I've never seen a fish this big. We called a news crew and got our picture taken with the legendary fish. It was a fish that was so elusive that no one has ever been able to him. We became the first ever people to ever catch Moby Nico. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Back at the estate we were watching one of my favorite Disney movies, Dinosaur. From the year 2000. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Millions of years ago in a nearby breeding ground, a Carnotaurus ambushes an infant Parasaurolophus after it accidentally attracts its attention, triggering a stampede which forces an iguanodon mother to abandon her nest, which is crushed by the pursuing predator and eventually kills a Pachyrhinosaurus. One surviving egg, after being removed from the nest by an oviraptor and lost in a river following a fight with another, journeys through several dinosaur terrains via the flight of a Geosternbergia before ending up on a faraway island populated by lemurs. Plio, the daughter of their leader, Yar, names the hatchling Alida and raises him as her adopted son, much to Yar's initial objections. Years later, a fully grown Alida and the lemurs take part in a mating ritual, where his friend Zini is unable to achieve a mate. Moments after the ritual ends, they are interrupted when a gigantic meteor crashes into the Earth, creating an explosion-like tsunami that destroys the island and spreads countless exploding fireballs. However, Alida, along with Plio, Zini, Yar, and Suri flee and survive by leaping across the sea towards the mainland. They look back at their ruined home and mourn for the loss of their loved ones before deciding to move on. While crossing deserted wastelands, the group are attacked by a pack of velociraptors. After escaping from them, the family encounter a massive herd of dinosaurs led by 2 iguanodons named Krone, who is their leader, and his lieutenant Bruden, during a journey to the nesting grounds, a valley said to be untouched by the devastation of the meteor. After the herd stopped to spend the night, Alida and the lemurs befriend some members of the herd including Baleen, an elderly brachiosaurus who is the last of her kind, her friend Ema, a styracosaurus, and URL, her pet dog like Ankylosaurus. The next morning, the herd begin to journey across the desert and after walking for hours, finally reach a lake they have relied on for past trips. It appears to be dried up and Krone orders the herd to move on until Alida and his friends discover water buried under the surface, thereby saving the herd from dehydration. Later that evening, Krone's sister Nira, impressed by Alida's compassionate ways, begins to have a relationship with him. Meanwhile, 2 Carnotaurus follow the herd's tracks and begin hunting them for food. Bruden and an iguanodon scout search for water in a canyon, but are ambushed and attacked by the Carnotaurus. Bruden manages to escape, but the scout is killed and devoured. Bruden warns Krone that they are being followed, sending the entire herd in a panicked flurry. Krone picks up the pace and starts to evacuate the herd, leaving Alida, the lemurs, and the elderly dinosaurs behind while the Carnotaurus are in pursuit some distance away. During a storm, the group encounter Bruden, who was left to defend himself against the Carnotaurus after he was abandoned by Krone, before deciding to take shelter in a cave to spend the night. Later that night, the Carnotaurus pair enter the cave and attack the group, but Bruden intervenes and is able to fight off the predators while giving Alida and the others time to escape. Bruden sacrifices himself by triggering a cave-in, crushing him and one of the Carnotaurus under falling debris. However, the other larger Carnotaurus survives unharmed and leaves the cave to resume its hunt for the rest of the herd. Alida and his friends venture deeper into the cave, but unfortunately reach a dead end and Alida loses hope. The others convince him to try and keep going, relating how he inspired them to do the same, and together, the group smash through the dead end until they finally find the nesting grounds on the other side. While exploring, Ema finds a large wall of boulders blocking the original entrance to the valley. Realizing that the herd will die attempting to climb over it, Alida rushes off alone to rescue them, although he is pursued by the surviving Carnotaurus along the way. Alida soon catches up with Krone, Nira, and the herd just as they were about to climb the wall and suggests a safer way to the valley due to a sheer drop on the other side that would kill the herd. However, Krone selfishly refuses to listen and, jealous of Alida becoming leader, starts to attack him. The 2 iguanodons end up fighting each other with Alida getting injured in the brawl, but before Krone can deliver the final blow, Nira knocks her brother aside, saving Alida's life as she comes to his aid. The herd eventually turn against Krone and abandon him, deciding that they should help Alida lead them to the nesting grounds the safer way. As they prepare to leave, Alida and the others find themselves cornered as the Carnotaurus appears and confronts them, making the herd panic and causing Krone to realize that Alida had led the carnivore right to them. However, Alida rallies Nira and the herd to stand together and they stun the predator by unleashing bellows at it in order to get past. The Carnotaurus senses weaker prey and discovers Krone, where it starts to pursue him to the top of a cliff while Nira and Alida follow it. When Krone eventually reaches a sheer drop that Alida had warned him about, he realizes that the latter was right and tries to defend himself against the Carnotaurus, but the large theropod quickly overpowers Krone and mortally wounds him. As it prepares to finish Krone off, Nira saves her brother by assaulting the carnivore, but is quickly overwhelmed. However, Alida intervenes and fights against the Carnotaurus, until the cliff it is standing on crumbles beneath it due to its weight, sending the theropod plummeting to its death into the ravine and onto the rocks below. Krone dies from his wounds and Nira mourns for the loss of her brother while Alida comforts her. Now as the new leader, Alida leads the herd through the cave as a route to the nesting grounds where they finally find sanctuary. Some time later, a new breed of dinosaurs hatch, and among them are Alida and Neera's children. The lemurs find more of their kind and the group all begin a new life together in their new home. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. We saw the meteor slam into the earth and it was unbelievable. We were shocked and it was awesome that Alida and the lemurs got out. We saw the movie and it was awesome. We cheered wildly. Me, that was so awesome. Littlefoot, it was so cool. Ducky, oh yes, yes, yes. Sarah, but that guy Crone was a major jerk. Chomper, I can't believe he was that bad. Littlefoot, that Carnotaurus was even bigger than the first one that we fought. Me, it sure was Littlefoot. Aline C, the one we fought was a tough one. Me, no kidding. Lola, it sure was. But that one wasn't nearly as tough as that one in the movie. Naruto, no kidding. Aline C, but I think that Crone was the worst dinosaur ever. Strut, I agree with you, Aline. He makes all good brothers look like a joke. No offense, Lincoln. Lincoln, none taken. Strut. Me, but what he was doing to Alida and the herd was awful. And that pass into the nesting grounds was blocked off. Nico, no kidding. Me, Sora, did you ever go to the world of Dinosaur? Sora, yes. We were there and it was beautiful. Riku, for all of us actually. Carrie, yet. Me, so it's one of the worlds we haven't covered. Let me see here. I looked it up on the computer and we saw that the world of Dinosaur is actually an alternate planet Earth set in the age of dinosaurs, back 69 million years ago. Me, wow. It's an alternate Earth from 69 million years ago. Let's head into the simulator and check it out and take Kron's leadership away. Aline C, I have a feeling I'm gonna like where this is going. Me, let's head into the simulator. We did so. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. We got ready to head into the simulator. We were ready for action. The simulator activated and we found ourselves in the world of Dinosaur from 2000. It was set 69 million years ago and we were on the island of the lemurs. Me, wow. Here we are on Earth, 69 million years ago. Nico, wow. It's just as beautiful and adventurous as the land before time. Aline C, it sure is. Then we saw Alida and the lemurs playing. Alida, that was so fun, guys. Sora, hey Alida. Alida saw us. Alida, Sora, Donald, Goofy. Suri, it's so good to see you all. Zini, you guys have changed a lot. Sora, we sure have. Alida, who are all your friends? We introduced ourselves. Alida, it's an honor to meet all of you. Suri, same here. Me, you too, Alida. Then a meteor shower began. Me, look at that. Lana, whoa. Siri, what are they? Alida, I don't know. Me, it's a meteor shower. It's a magnificent spectacle. Then ducks flew over us. Yar, something is wrong. Then we saw a huge meteor. It was as big as a mountain and bright as the sun as it was falling towards the earth. Then it slammed into the planet with devastating force and a massive fiery mushroom cloud explosion lit up the sky. Crab. Me, whoa. Lana, unbelievable. Then we saw the shockwave coming. Me, shockwave coming. Brace for impact. We braced ourselves and we felt the enormous power of the impact. Lainey, whoa. What power? Lola, and it's gonna get worse. Look. We saw countless small fireballs explode out of the base of the mushroom cloud and they were scattering all over and the explosions were coming right at us. Me, everyone stay close. I formed a huge force field bubble around us and it protected us as we were heading away from the island. The explosions destroyed it. Me, wow. That was a close one. Clio, it sure was. But thank you all for saving us. Me, no problem Plio. Thank goodness you're all safe. Naruto, that was an epic escape. Me, it sure was. Sorry about your island home Yar. Yar, it's alright JD. But thank you all for saving us. Me, it's what we do. But we'll give you all a new home on our Earth. Plio, we would like that very much JD. We were searching the planet and we found a huge herd of dinosaurs. Me, whoa. Aline see, what a huge herd. We saw lots of dinosaurs. Brachiosaurus, Triceratops, Ankylosaurus, Iguanodon, Styracosaurus, Stegosaurus, Maiasaura, and so much more. They were all plant-eating dinosaurs. Lana, this is a huge herd. Fu, it's amazing. Littlefoot, it's amazing and big. Sarah, this is a lot of dinosaurs. Me, let's go see. We saw leading the herd was the Iguanodon tyrant, Crone. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. When Alida and his lemur family have just narrowly escaped from a pack of hungry and carnivorous velociraptors, a sandstorm blows up, impairing their sight. Alida looks up and sees Crone leading the dinosaur herd, to which Crone knocks him down and shouts at him to stay out of his way. When the sandstorm settles, the herd soon stops to rest, and Alida meets the two old dinosaurs named Baleen, URL, and Ema, who say that Crone the leader is driving them unmercifully to the nesting grounds, so when Crone walks by, Alida asks her what's his problem. Strangely enough here, despite having met before, Alida cannot immediately remember who Crone is until Ema reminds him. Alida soon stops him and asks him if he could slow it down a bit for the old dinosaurs who are having trouble keeping up, to which Crone sarcastically replies, let the weak set the pace. Now there's an idea. He then tells Alida to leave the thinking to him and to watch himself, to which Crone's sister named Nira replies to Alida, don't worry, that's how my brother treats newcomers, no matter how charming they are. The next day, as the herd is traveling to get to the lake, Crone tells his second-in-command named Bruden to give orders that the herd must keep up, because if a predator catches anyone, they are on their own. Crone and Bruden then continue to drive the herd unmercifully across the hot sunny desert, losing a couple of members in the process, until they finally reach the lake. However, when Crone reaches the top, he and the rest of the herd are shocked to see that the lake is a dry bed caused by the destructive fireball earlier in the film, because there is no water here. Bruden appears by his side and tells him that the rain might have possibly collected somewhere else, and asks him, what do you want us to do? Crone tells Bruden to take a scout with him and check the whole perimeter. When he reminds the herd that they are just a few days away from the nesting grounds, he orders the herd to keep moving. Nira tells Crone that if they keep moving like this lacking water, they will lose at least half of the herd, to which Crone replies that they then save the half that deserves to live. Luckily for everyone, Alida finds water by having Baleen press down on her foot, causing water to seep up out of the ground. Far from grateful, Crone pushes his way into it and drinks the water for himself, showing no mercy for the herd. Soon afterward, however, Crone and the herd rested for the night. In the meantime, Bruden and his scout named Krito were assaulted by the two Carnotaurus during their search for water, and only Bruden escapes with severe wounds. As Crone watches the herd sleep, and suspiciously eyes Alida and Nira becoming closer, Bruden returns and informs him that the Carnotaurus are coming, but Crone is shocked and angrily berates him for leading them to their location. As Crone moves the herd, Nira and Alida approach and ask what was going on, to which Crone says that the Carnotaurs are coming, and if they do not move, they will catch up to them. Alida tells Crone that the old ones won't make it, to which Crone says that their deaths will slow down the predators and allow the rest of the herd to escape. Refusing to let the old ones be sacrificed like this, Alida tries to stop the herd, but Crone furiously pushes him down and warns him that if he ever interferes again, he will kill him. Crone then pushes Nira along with the herd while Alida stays behind with his family, Ema, Baleen, and URL, making sure that they at least can leave the dry lake bed at their own pace. Crone continues to push the herd on unmercifully through the desert until they finally reach the rocky hill entrance into the nesting grounds, and discover to their horror that it has been blocked by a landslide. NIVIRO suggests that they will find a way around the rock wall, but Crone tells her that the herd will climb over it the next morning. Next morning, sure enough, as he had promised, Crone orders the herd to start climbing the wall, which they do until Alida returns, telling Crone to get the herd out of there because a Carnotaurus is coming and that he knows a safer way to the nesting grounds. He also tells him that the herd cannot get over the rocks because there is a sheer drop on the other side. Crone stubbornly refuses to listen, and Alida eventually yells that Crone is going to kill the herd, and attempts to lead the herd out of the canyon. However, Crone becomes enraged and says that they are staying with him. He violently attacks Alida, but then gets knocked to the ground by him twice. He then throws sand in his eyes, scratches him across his chest with his spiked thumb, knocks him into the ground, and almost kills him by delivering a deadly strike until when NIVIRO pushes her brother away from him. After that, Alida's life was eventually saved by NIVIRO in the process. Before Crone's eyes, she and the herd abandoned him and proceeded to follow Alida out of the canyon. At that moment, the ferocious Carnotaurus appears and charges at the herd. Crone begins climbing the hill, and in a last attempt to regain leadership, urges the herd to do the same, accusing Alida of leading the dangerous predator right to them. However, Alida and the herd all manage to stand their ground together and bellow their way past the savage beast, while Crone stupidly continues up the hill, determined to prove Alida wrong. Though foiled by the herd, the Carnotaurus sees Crone and starts to climb the hill after him, while NIVIRO and Alida follow in order to help him. Crone manages to reach the top, only to discover that Alida was right about the sheer drop, and is promptly cornered by the Carnotaurus. Crone tries his best to fight the Carnotaurus, but the aggressive beast then bites into his back and throws him against a rock, mortally wounding him. Just before he could finish him, NIVIRO and Alida come and knock the Carnotaurus off of the cliff. It may be possible that Crone reforms slightly as he tries to fight the Carnotaurus, but he eventually dies of his horrific injuries after the battle, as NIVIRO is left grief-stricken and inconsolable when she discovers his corpse after the Carnotaurus has been killed. Despite everything that he had already done, since he may have tried to reform, NIVIRO is deeply saddened by Crone's death, as he was still her brother, but is comforted by Alida before they depart for the nesting grounds. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Me, that's Crone. Sora, yep. And with him was Bruden. Me, let's go. We caught up with the herd and everyone saw us. They were happy to see us again. Ima, good to see all of you again. Sora, you too Ima. Baleen, my goodness how you have grown. Goofy, it feels like forever Baleen. Bruden, good to see you again Sora. Sora, same to you Bruden. We introduced ourselves. Ima, it's an honor to meet you all. Me, you too Ima. Aline C, I'm glad we came. NIVIRO, my brother is a jerk. He won't listen to us. Me, we know NIVIRO. But we're here to help you all. Let's get to work. Crone then came. Sora, hello Crone. Crone, so the Keyblader has returned. Me, and so has his friends, Team Loud Phoenix Storm. Optimus Prime, to the herd, do you really want a leader who will lead you to your deaths? Or do you all want a change in leadership? Crone, laughs, that's funny. Now, dispose of the idiot. Optimus Prime, smirks, you heard him, everyone. Dispose of the idiot. Static, there's only one thing a tyrant like you is good for now. Crone, and what would that be? Spider-Man, smirks, live bait. Static fired a blast of lightning and Spider-Man fired his webbing. Static and Spider-Man, Electro capture net. The lightning went through the net and entangled Crone. William, and now we wait. Me, yep. Alida, I knew we made the right choice of making you guys leaders. 20 minutes later we heard a roar. Me, Carnotaurus. Sora. Here it comes. Aline C. Yep. We then saw Carnotaurus. *****. Carnotaurus/Chronotrs/ is a genus of large theropod dinosaur that lived in South America during the late Cretaceous period, between about 72 and 69.9 million years ago. The only species is Carnotaurus sastraei. Known from a single well-preserved skeleton, it is one of the best understood theropods from the southern hemisphere. The skeleton, found in 1984, was uncovered in the Chubut province of Argentina from rocks of the La Colonia Formation. Carnotaurus is a derived member of the Apulesauridae, a group of large theropods that occupied the large predatorial niche in the southern land masses of Gondwana during the late Cretaceous. The phylogenetic relations of Carnotaurus are uncertain. It might have been closer to either Majungasaurus or Aucasaurus. Carnotaurus was a lightly built, bipedal predator, measuring 8 to 9.1 m, 26.2 to 29.9 feet, in length and weighing at least 2.24 metric tons, 2.20 long tons, 2.47 short tons, 0.3 to 3.5 m, 9.8 to 11.5 feet, in height. As a theropod, Carnotaurus was highly specialized and distinctive. It had thick horns above the eyes, a feature unseen in all other carnivorous dinosaurs, and a very deep skull sitting on a muscular neck. Carnotaurus was further characterized by small, vestigial forelimbs and long, slender hind limbs. The skeleton is preserved with extensive skin impressions, showing a mosaic of small, non-overlapping scales approximately 5 mm in diameter. The mosaic was interrupted by large bumps that lined the sides of the animal, and there are no hints of feathers. The distinctive horns and the muscular neck may have been used in fighting conspecifics. According to separate studies, rivaling individuals may have combated each other with quick head blows, by slow pushes with the upper sides of their skulls, or by ramming each other head-on, using their horns as shock absorbers. The feeding habits of Carnotaurus remain unclear. Some studies suggest the animal was able to hunt down very large prey such as sauropods, while other studies find it preyed mainly on relatively small animals. Carnotaurus was well adapted for running and was possibly one of the fastest large theropods. A Carnotaurus first appears in the very beginning of the film where a young Parasaurolophus chases a flying lizard into the jungle. It then looks up to where the reptile is, but before it can get close, saliva falls on the branch which caused the young dinosaur to look up, where the Carnotaur eventually awakens. The young Parasaurolophus starts running out of the jungle, which causes attention to many of the herbivorous dinosaurs. As it starts running, the Carnotaur soon bursts out of the trees and starts chasing all the dinosaurs, and eventually kills a Pachyrhinosaurus. At the middle of the film, two Carnotaurus, the male presumably the same one from the beginning of the film, scare off a pack of velociraptors. The pair go after the herd in which Alida and his family and friends are in by following the tracks left behind. A little later, Bruden and a scout are attacked by the Carnotaurus. Bruden escapes to warn Crone, albeit being injured, as the scout is killed by them. As soon as Bruden tells Crone, he is left behind to fend for himself. Later, as Alida, his family, and friends, and Bruden take shelter from a rainstorm in a cave, the Carnotaurs attack. Bruden comes to the rescue and sacrificing himself by causing a cave-in, although killing the female as the male leaves and apparently roars in rage at the loss of his mate. After Alida and company find the nesting grounds, Alida rushes back to warn Crone's herd about the rock pile blocking the main entrance. On the way there, he sees a dead dinosaur, Stygimoloch, and soon flees when he hears the Carnotaur coming and eating the Stygimoloch. Alida then warns Crone and the herd about the approaching Carnotaur, but Crone doesn't listen to him as he thinks he's leading him right to the herd. After his battle with Crone, Alida assumes the herd's leadership, then the Carnotaur arrives and the herd panics. Alida states that they should stand together, or the Carnotaur would pick them off, in which they do and the Carnotaur backs off. Then, the Carnotaur sees Crone and runs after him with Nira and Alida not far behind. After Crone climbs the rocks and finds a cliff, the Carnotaur and him engage a short fight. Crone fought back the Carnotaur by smacking him with his tail, but he managed to bite him in the back and toss him against a rock, fatally injuring him. As he is about to finish him off, Nira comes and shoves the Carnotaur in an attempt to save her brother, but was easily overwhelmed. Then when the Carnotaur was about to kill Nira, Alida arrives, but the Carnotaur manages to knock him out by smack him with his tail. But Alida managed to get back up from the ground and to push the Carnotaur to the edge of the cliff, and the Carnotaur's weight causes the cliff ledge to crumple. As the cliff starts to crack, the Carnotaur grabs Alida and tries to pull him down with him, but fails and the Carnotaur falls off the cliff to his death. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Me, Carnotaurus. 69 million years of ruthless terror. A lean sea, just like its cousin the Tyrannosaurus Rex. We saw the Carnotaurus come towards Crone and he was moving, and the Carnotaurus saw Crone as lunch. Me, here it comes. Almost. Now. We jumped out and attacked. I punched the Carnotaurus in the face and knocked out one of its teeth. Ema rammed the Carnotaurus with her horns and Baleen slapped it with her tail. Lola and Aline fired a massive blast of fire and burned it. Lincoln and Linka fired a powerful blast of lightning and electrocuted him. Lainey then tied him up in nasty bramble vines. Fu used her incredible speed and power to pummel the Carnotaurus all over the place. Big Guy, time to floss some razor-sharp teeth. Big Guy fired his machine guns and missiles, and Rusty fired his nucleo-proton blasters. Rusty, awesome. Lana fired a powerful blast of ice lightning and froze the Carnotaurus. Lucy Loud fired a powerful blast of black lightning, and Lewin fired a powerful blast of light, and so did Eddie and Lindsay, and they electrocuted and burned it. Luna and Sam SL fired a powerful blast of water and fire and burned and boiled it. Lenny threw a heavy rock at the Carnotaurus and slammed it into it, and Lori blew it around with a massive tornado. Me, time for some teamwork. Optimus Prime, right. Optimus Prime turned into his Cybertron form. Optimus Prime, Cyber Key Power. The gold Autobot Cyber Planet Key went into his arm and turned his gun into a powerful cannon. Tuck, time to tuck. Roll, and roll. Tuck and roll, Animatron Cyber Key Power. The Animatron Cyber Planet Key went into Tuck's arm device and it enhanced their Pillbug abilities 100-fold. Optimus Prime and Tuck and Roll, Pillbug Cannonball Explosion. Tuck and Roll went into Optimus Prime's cannon and Optimus Prime fired them and they slammed into the Carnotaurus and exploded and it knocked him down. Tuck and Roll, yet. Thunder Blast, time for some deadly firepower. Cyber Key Power. The Earth Cyber Planet Key went into her rocket launcher and turned it into a bigger rocket launcher. Sandman, let's do it. Earth Cyber Key Power. The Earth Cyber Planet Key went into Sandman's right arm device and it enhanced his powers 100-fold. Thunder Blast and Sandman, Super Thunderstorm Fulgurite. Sandman fired a massive blast of sand and Thunder Blast fired a powerful blast of energy and they hit and exploded. Me, let's finish him. Final smash time. Littlefoot, let's do it. Brachiosaurus Thundertail. Littlefoot fired a powerful blast of lightning from his tail and it hit the Carnotaurus and electrocuted it. Aline C, time for some fire sword power. Fierce Loyalty Firestorm. Aline had her sword engulfed in fire and she slashed the Carnotaurus. Alida, this is for my friends and my family. Iguanodon Super Ram. Alida rammed into the Carnotaurus with devastating force and blew it apart. Killing it. Me, yet. Nico, Carnotaurus, you have failed this prehistoric world. Me, yep. Crone, at least you saved us. Me, we didn't save you. We saved them. Points to the herd. I snapped my fingers and banished Crone to a jungle planet far away. Alida, to the viewers, never mess with Sora, his friends, or Team Loud Phoenix Storm. These guys are just that good. Me, you got that right, Alida. I beamed everyone in the herd to Paleozoic world and they were now home. Nico caught a Sandy Gast and a Wimpod. The end. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Another fanfiction in another bad villain exposed and more. Dinosaur from the year 2000 was a great movie made by Disney. Nico-chan 11 gave me the ideas for this one. Thanks man. Let me know what you think. See you all next time.